evening, folks. Let's see if I can turn that down ever so slightly. Have I got this thing figured out? Time will tell. Time will tell. Awesome. Great. Awesome. Hey, everyone. Welcome, Gothamites. Welcome to Gotham City tonight. I guess from the thumbnail, it sounds like I'm about to start talking shit about Shazam, but I do feel, I don't think we need to really talk shit about Shazam necessarily. But we can definitely talk some shit about The Rock. But before we get rolling, before I say hi to the chat, we are getting closer and closer week by week to 1,000 subs. But you know what that means? I'll have the draws for the prints signed. The Jim Fabook, the Joker, Batman. Whoop. Where am I? Hang on. Joker. There. Got it. And Batgirl. Awesome. So we're going to have those. Of course, I have some superpowers I'm throwing in there. And I also decided I got extra of these. I'm going to throw in some Batman Forever Hot Wheels because, of course, it's like one of the best Batmobiles. Probably one of the most underrated one. I love this Batmobile. I don't care what anyone says. And that one is a two-seater and is meant to be a two-seater. So there. Yeah, that's it. That's really it. Hang on, let's see if I can get some. That one's not good. There we go. Let's get some background music so I don't feel like I'm completely talking into the void. All right, folks. Want to talk about Shazam. I want to hear what everyone else thinks about Shazam. It is sort of flopping. While we do that, might pull up the solicitations that we just had show up, believe like middle of last week. And they had some really cool stuff that DC, the comics, actually announced. And I also want to hear everyone's like total thoughts. We've had a week to think about all the toys from Spin Master and McFarlane. Which are you getting? Have you decided to buy one and not the other? I want to hear about it. But first, let's say hi to the chat. All right. Let's start off with Sean Parks, who went to bed. But he wanted to say hi, so thank you, Sean. Hope you catch it on the replay, and hope you enjoy the show. Derek, roll that beautiful Doell footage. It's coming. It's here. The Doell is here. Let's hear what you got. Looking forward to tonight's subject matter. DC struggled for some time, but there's no good reason for that. Marvel seems to be hitting a slump as well. Could this be superhero fatigue? We will get into that. Absolutely. Boogeyman 13. Brandon 3G. Daniel Baumworth. Let's bring it on. Absolutely. Toy Art. Let's fucking go, y'all. Matt Bush. Who else we got? We got Bacon McShig. I love saying that name so much. Batboy Versus is here. Nolan is here. He's saying hi to not just me, but the chat too. That's pretty cool. All right. Monsters from Beyond is here. JK Rants and Reviews. Love Forever Batmobile. But Affleck Batmobile is the most underappreciated. I love it, except for that giant ass gun on it. But I think that's Justice League where it has the big ass gun on it. But I think you are correct. I do think that one actually goes not talked about enough. Wait. DC has comics? Believe it or not, Boogeyman 13. So does Marvel. Insane. Right? Okay. And Chinovo is here as well. What is up? Awesome. All right. Well, let's get into it. Let's talk Shazam. I didn't see the first one in theater. I saw it after the fact because at this point too, I was kind of like, come on, DC, just give us a win. And it actually turned out to be really good. And then they did the sequel. Well, actually, no. They announced the sequel, but they also announced Black Adam, which had me always kind of going, really confused because it was like, well, we all know that Black Adam's the main villain of Shazam, DC's Captain Marvel, right? So why is he getting his own movie? Then, of course, we got the actual official casting. Always been a lot of rumors, a lot of people saying he's playing him, that The Rock is going to be playing Black Adam. And sure enough, once that was all confirmed, it all made sense. Of course, they've got The Rock. The Rock is blockbuster. He's one of the few people I think still today you can have him be like, hey, The Rock's in this movie. People will go to see The Rock. It doesn't happen that much anymore because now people go to see Spider-Man. No one cares about Tom Holland. They're there to see Spider-Man. People don't, but I shouldn't say people don't care about Chris Evans, because Chris Evans is very beloved. But when you go to Captain America movie, you're not going for Chris Evans. You're going for Captain America. You're going for that 2-minute stinger at the end of every movie, right? Like, and that's not a diss on Marvel. It's just that's how we got programmed to do that. We got full on brainwashed. And I mean, there's not really much we can do about it. I fell into that trap too. So, what are we to do? But I still feel like The Rock is still, you can put The Rock on a poster, you can put The Rock out there, and people will be like, oh, I love The Rock. And kids love The Rock. You got to remember that too. We're all a bunch of old dudes watching this stuff, and you got to remember kids love The Rock. So of course he's going to be in there. So I know I've talked about this on here before, and I believe I've talked about it on Toy Anxiety as well. The Rock has a very special contract, and that contract involves him never losing, him getting the same, like if the whoever his opponent is, his opponent will always lose, doesn't matter who it is. And if whatever his opponent lands for hits, The Rock has to hit just as many, if not more. And that's all. I've never seen The Rock's contract. I don't know if this is true. It could not be true, but it's not a good look. And so how do you do that? Why would you cast him as a villain? Why would you cast him as a villain on God mode? Right? The undefeatable villain? That's kind of boring. But at the same time, he's not really about, it's not really about the character, because The Rock is a brand. And when The Rock is the face of something, it represents his brand. So end of the day, like, this is where I think even where things on Fast and the Furious, where he butted heads with half the cast, because I heard stories, man. This is when I was working on Fast 7. There was 2 camps. There was The Rock's camp and there was Vin Diesel's camp. And you either sat with one camp or the other. Quite frankly, at this point, I think at that time I was like, oh, of course you want to hang out with The Rock. It's The Rock, right? 5-time world champion, The Rock. And I think now, thinking about it, I don't know if I would sit in that camp. And I could see where maybe now, if that was the case, still even back then for Fast and Furious days, that maybe Vin Diesel was just like, yeah, no, we don't do that here. We're about family. And so, I don't know if I would necessarily sit down in Team Rock, right? And you got to remember, like, Fast and Furious, that's Vin Diesel's baby. And some guy's just going to come in and make it his. I don't think so. So I kind of get that. And I feel like he kind of came into DC thinking the same thing, that he was just going to come in and he was going to be the centerpiece of the DC universe. And he was going to fight Superman and beat Superman. And quite frankly, I also want to put this out there, because he did want to fight Superman. And anyone, whether you're playing whatever character you're playing, or if this is part of your brand, if your brand wants to be the one that defeats Superman, that makes you a villain. To me, anyway. If that's your goal, is to be the guy that beats Superman, that's Lex Luthor, right? That's Lobo. That's Parasite. That's Metallo. That's Brainiac. These are all characters that are just like, their whole thing is like, I want to be the one that beats Superman. I want to be the one that kicks his ass. Right? If you have that mentality going in, not for me. Not for me. I'll crawl up back to the early on here in the chat and see what else has to say and say some more hellos. Eliminist 757. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out. Mr. Mind would take issue with that statement. Mr. Mind would take issue with that statement. And actually, why didn't they just go for it? They should have just went for Mastermind. I'm not opposed to that at all. Right? Hey, Oz? What's happening? Right? In case you haven't checked out his show, Toy Frenzy, does it with Skelevator. Definitely something to check out. Flash, my boy Flash 739 did not watch Shazam 2 yet, but hearing The Rock sort of set up Shazam for failure. Yeah, he even refused to do a cameo in it. Like, dude, this is your world. You're the one that signed on to be part of it. Don't make this at this point. I always feel if you're going to be signing on for any major established superhero franchise, it's no longer about you. It's about the character. And whether you like that or not, maybe just do The Rock, the movie, and just play yourself like you do in every other damn movie. Randall, do you have any Mego Pocket Superheroes figures? They actually had a cool Batcave that I used for my Superpowers Batman and Robin. I did not know that they made a Batcave. I do remember the Mego Pocket Superheroes. But I never owned any of them. That was just kind of before my time. I never did check them out. Maybe I'm going to look into them. Maybe that's my weekend plan. Weekend is coming up. Daniel, I don't think you can have a Shazam and Black Adam movie when Johnson had his contract when Johnson has contract, he can't lose a fight. It becomes redundant. Absolutely. Agreed. Right? Oz, I'd go see The Rock. Of course you would. You're like Rikishi. I did it for The Rock. Right? Programming works. We're all proof. Exactly. It's true. Especially, again, like I said, we're all older dudes. We all lived in the 80s and 90s. We were all brainwashed. Like, look at Masters of the Universe. We still see Masters of the Universe, and we feel that inclination to buy it because we were brainwashed. Right? Payne's Toy Samples. Hey, dude. Thanks for coming out and hanging out tonight. Right? Flash 739. I feel like The Rock is pushing the limits of his own power to getting things done. I agree. And I think people are starting to kind of turn on him just a little bit, but not a lot, but just a little bit. Because I think people are just kind of like, Betty, I don't think so. Eliminate 757. If only kids could see The Rock and the Scorpion King. Dude, show them that. Actually, I'll be honest, I would love it if they did a Scorpion King, or was it The Mummy 2? Or is it Mummy 3? I would love to see a special edition of those movies. Because back then the VFX looked like so PlayStation 2. I would love to see them go back and fix it up and touch it up. Those, especially with Brendan Fraser being like, he's very much back in the public eye. So I would love to see those movies make a resurgence somehow, some way. Toy art. Also, The Rock is the most electrifying man in sports and entertainment. Agreed, Toy art. There's a Twitter account that I follow where it's just The Rock's promos when he was in wrestling. Man, he's so good. JK Rance, just turned 36. Dude, just wait. 40's coming. It's around the corner. Right? Everyone's saying, oh, this is a popular man here in this chat. I love it. I love to see it. Flash, The Rock is acting like WWE. Agreed. The Rock has the contract in Hollywood that Hulk Hogan had in WCW. John Bartley, I'm starting to be able to smell what The Rock is cooking, and it's bullshit. Boogeyman 13, I think The Rock blame is too easy, even if his ego got in the way. All right. And the end credits scene is not going to suddenly garner another $200 million in the box office. The film was just poorly marketed. I agree. And it's not just The Rock. It is absolutely not just The Rock. I think The Rock plays a part in a lot of other different bullshit, but I think as far as box office numbers are concerned, I think even if let's say The Rock was at the end of the credits, I still don't think that would have got another 200 million at the box office. I don't know if that's what you're trying to say, but even if he did do that, I agree that he would not be enough to pull in for that movie. And I'm actually starting to feel bad for that movie. The Shazam 2, maybe I'll go see it. I don't know. I don't have time to go see movies. I think that's the worst part right now is I actually do not have time. Work has me chained to the desk for the next couple months. That's okay because I love my job. Oz, slap that like button. Yeah, thanks, dude. And yes, please, if you're having fun, slap a like on that bad boy. Noel and Team Rock all the way. Hey, man, that's cool. That's cool. I get that. Rock's still cool. Monsters from Beyond. Sometimes it's best to go make your own camp here. Exactly. Sometimes it is. Flash. Team Vin for life. We need more Riddick films. Agreed. Triple X too. Chinovo. If they could change Superman, they could change Black Adam. Absolutely. Who would you pick? Bacon McShig, looks like Team Rock is blasting off again. I love it. Looking at 13, beating Superman is literally beating Hope in the Snyderverse, at least. Agreed. Right? We don't want to be the guy, do you really want to be the guy that beats up, the nicest dude on the planet who just happens to have superpowers? No, I wouldn't want to be. JK Rants. The problem is Endgame set the ultimate bar for superhero movies. I agree and disagree. I think Endgame set the bar for a end of story conclusion. So I think the Endgame sets that bar. I think the problem is because now they set this bar, and this is the problem with Marvel more so than DC, that now Marvel thinks that, okay, we went up to here for Endgame, and now we have to stay up here for all the other movies, which is why I think they blew their load too early with Celestials. I think instead of seeing Celestials in Eternals, the first time we saw one should have been Galactus approaching Earth. That would have had a much bigger impact, but they killed that. I think all this multiverse and world-ending stuff with Spider-Man and Doctor Strange and these more street level or fantastical characters, even Shang-Chi, I think everything needs to just kind of go back down and we build ourselves back up. Marvel's not doing that. They're kind of staying at this pace. And I think that's another reason why people are feeling that fatigue, because it's every day the world's ending. Now the universe is ending. And now there's this. We have to go back down to build back up. That's part of the fun too, right? When we start back at the bottom, when we start rebuilding and we create, that would have been so much fun, right? Derpy, hey buddy, what's going on? Monsters from Beyond. I would rather watch a movie about a magic man, boy flying, an evil worm than, most anything, if I'm honest. That's yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, that would be fun. He continues, maybe he is mad because he already did The Rock, the movie, and he was not in it. Yeah. I would love to see, though, a movie, a kayfabe movie of The Rock. It's too bad. You could, I think you could have Triple H and Big Show in there somehow. It'd be tough with Big Show at AEW, but I think they could do it. The Rock Buck doing a cameo? Dude, what the fuck? Low-key, it seems like that's the case being made for him to not be a team player. Agreed. Spot on, Derek. Bacon McShig, DCU Shazam lost me right away when they gave Dr. Savannah the super grim dark origin. Yep. I think that's the one thing about Shazam. It's got to be fun. It's got to be lighthearted. Not everything has to be so dark and dreary. Like even you gotta remember, like even with Black Adam, Shazam's rogues gallery is very bright. I don't know what other way to put it. Matt Bush, like both Shazam movies, but biggest critique is that though it is funny, seems that Levi is playing a generic, silly kid in an adult body instead of having the same personality as Billy, who is not a goofy teen. That's a fair assessment. That is absolutely a fair assessment. Derek Hoover, Doell mentions Masters of the Universe brainwashing, and I sit and work on a Motu spreadsheet. Oh, dude, of course. To me, Motu is always going to be that example that I use for brainwashing us as kids, because man, nobody did it better than they did. Randall, all wrestling fans are brainwashed. Hey, me too. But it is strange that The Rock would want Shazam to fail since he is a producer on the franchise. The WB and the DC transition hurt it as well. I forgot he was a producer. Yeah, you would think he'd want way more involvement. When does Shazam come out? It's already out. But it's been number one at the box office 2 weeks in a row. However, it's not doing good at the box office. So I don't know what that tells you about movies in general at the moment. Ian, TNR. Hey, Ian, what's going on? People just don't care about his characters. Shazam and Black Adam are unknowns to most. No foundation was built on these characters. Pointing fingers at individual actors is pointless. Dude, like I said, I think there's much more there. I don't think The Rock or Levi are even the main problems. I think DC has a foundation structural problem with their movies in general, and I'm hoping James Gunn will fix that. Payne's toy samples, the villain was undefined and just as well, cannot read tonight, and just wasn't well planned. It's too much of afterthought type of add-in. I'm trying to even remember Shazam. I only saw it the one time. I am so curious to just what everyone thinks about all this, right? Yeah, opening million was like 30 million. Yeah, that's not good. Guys, what if Vin Diesel is the new Black Adam? I would love that. Great Shazam comic book runners, Joy Ordway's Power of Shazam. Agreed. Great art and simple stories. Agreed. Great shout out, Randall. Flash 739. If Vin became Black Adam and was successful, it might put The Rock down a notch. Could you imagine? I could see Vin playing Lobo. That's from Nolan. They would have to CGI him up and make him big because Vin Diesel's a short dude, but that's okay. I mean, they do it to Tom Cruise all the time. Tom Cruise is like 4'11". Derek Hoover, passive-aggressive everyday consumers couldn't have told you jack about Guardians of the Galaxy, but look what they did. Exactly. Right? Eliminist, the whole world's ending precedent is definitely a thing in the comics too, though, where event series are largely overblown and overused. I agree. I do think... we haven't seen big... I shouldn't say that because Dark Web is happening right now too. But I mean, there's always other Spider-Man comics you can grab that are just more low-key that aren't always connected. Same with Batman. All that stuff. 90s and early 2000s was rough on us when it came to those world-ending events in comics. Those big giant crossovers. Whew. Vicman to San Diego. Hey, dude. The Rock did not roll. No, it did not for this, right? Hang on, I'm gonna scoot through the chat just a little faster. All right. Guardians of the Galaxy was a big risk that paid off, but they built a strong foundation with the other movies that were all liked by the GA and Guardians of the Galaxy for some big actors behind it. I agree. Right? Yep, spot on. Matt Bush is 100%, 1,000% spot on. Levi was the weakest part of the movie. The difference between acting like a child and Billy's 17-year-old personality was ridiculous. That's totally fair. In general, getting harder to see movies in theater with runtimes, trailers, ads, driving to and from a movie 4-hour committed versus watching at home and breaking. Dude, absolutely. I get that. I absolutely get that. It is getting harder, and it's getting more expensive too, right? Paint's toy samples. That was about Black Adam villain Sabak. Dude, yeah, it's so good. I Brandon 3G. I feel like the rest of the DC EU movies are going to perform low, except for The Flash, because Keaton. I think everyone is ready for the reboot. I think so too. I was thinking about that too in regards to Aquaman 2 as well. I don't see that movie performing great with everybody. Warner Brothers is really pushing this James Gunn reboot, and also it's just like, well, we got to get these other movies out of the way to get to The Flash, right? Derek Hoover. I feel like DC tried playing catch up way too fast. I agree with that. And turned into a mess. I agree with that. Which again shouldn't have happened. I agree with that. And the entire stable has been under WB for years. They should have been leading the charge. Agreed. I agree with that entire statement. Ian, Shazam 2 tried too many things. It should have been the Shazamly Shazamly movie showing them struggling with their individual struggles as kids while trying to be superheroes. Big villains weren't necessary. Dude, keep it simple, right? Keep it simple, keep it relatable, right? Steve Lawrence, better late than never, but you're here, and thank you. Thank you for being here. Boogeyman 13, also curious how much the studio meddling happened before Gunn came in, as is the case with WB. Still want to see the Ayer cut of Suicide Squad. Sounded like a much better film than what we got. Funny thing, I have seen some of those scenes that are cut. When I was working on the infamous, well-received, fan-loved movie called Ghostbusters Answered the Call, right beside me, they were working on the Suicide Squad, just Suicide Squad, the David Ayer one. And I remember seeing scenes that were a lot darker, a lot more collected. I don't know how else to put it. Like, things just seemed to make more sense. And they did screenings of it. People used certain words and terminology that when they saw the movie about villains, that it got the studio nervous, and they numbed it. It was a little bit, I shouldn't say darker. I don't know if it was a much darker movie, but it was a different movie. Because I remember going to the movie and being like, what happened there? And then I remember talking to somebody and they were like, oh yeah, the studio cut it. They did screenings, and people at the screenings were like, nope, not digging that. And I was like, but they're villains. Yep. Okay. Right? So I can only say that much, but I know that was some of it. Yeah, going to the movies used to be fun. Dude, it totally did. Shazam 2 needed to flesh out Mary a bit more, giving up college dreams to deliver pizzas so she could fight crime. Dude, and it's funny too, Mary Marvel is one of those characters that is also so fan-loved. They could have broke her off into her own movie. Brian Brink. Hi, Ryan. Are you going to go see Wick 4 this weekend? Are you a fan of the franchise? I am a fan of the franchise, but I'm not getting out for any movies anytime soon. I haven't seen Ant-Man. I haven't seen Shazam 2. Probably won't get to go see this like I want to. I'm hoping to get to Super Mario. And there's a weird part of me that kind of wants to see Dungeons and Dragons. But at the same time, I kind of just want to wait till it comes out in streaming, I guess. But I saw that popcorn bucket. That's like a 12-sided die. And I kind of want that. Ian, thanks for sharing my comments. Yeah, dude. Absolutely. Absolutely. Toy Art, I want more DC content like Superman and Lois. John Yerkeba Part 4. He's been a guest on here before. And he speaks nothing but amazing things about that show, right? That's all he talks about, is how great that show is. And again, I'm just waiting for this movie I'm on to wrap and finish, and I'm going to try and catch up on that one as well. I'm so behind. I haven't watched Last of Us. What else came out recently? Wouldn't know. I've been, like I said, chained to a desk, but it's okay. Like I said, I love my job. 11 minutes. Do y'all have opinions on whether DC or Marvel shows should cross over more or less with movies? I honestly think they should cross over less. I honestly think so. Chat, let me know if you think anything different. I honestly think they should cross over less so that when it does happen, it's special. And that way we can build up a Superman. We can build up Wonder Woman. We can build up Aquaman. We can build up Green Lantern. All these characters we need to build so that when a crossover happens, it's special. Also, I'm waiting for that. I know it'll never happen. It'll never happen. I should never say never. But if we ever start getting superhero fatigue really badly and both studios just really want to make money, I will guarantee you, if they get so desperate for their cash that they put all their eggs in one basket with these superhero movies, we will get like Batman versus Spider-Man or something. I would love that. Unlimited power. I'll just keep rewatching the Dark Knight trilogy over and over. They can't seem to get it together. Oh my gosh, stop it. And you're not looking forward to the Gunn lineup at all? Oh my god, I'm super excited. Derek Hoover, for the uninitiated, and apologies for being the dumb kid in the room. Doell, what do you do in the industry? I work production. I work production for feature animation. Derek Hoover, I think DC and Marvel should cross over themselves and give us some damn amalgam films. Never gonna happen. And the toys. Dude, we got trading cards. We got comics. We never got the toys. Because again, they were part of two different companies at the time, Toy Biz and Kenner. And DC and Marvel right now, because one is owned by Disney, the other one's owned by Warner Brothers, they have stated, like, we're never getting crossovers ever again. And it's so sad. Boogeyman 13, crossovers should happen where it organically makes sense. Agreed. I do like the idea of series serving as opportunities to flesh out the worlds and movies they introduce. Yep, I'm with you. Randall, what do you think would happen to the Snyderverse if Nolan had stayed on as executive producer of the franchise for Man of Steel? Too much studio interference hurt Batman vs. Superman, Justice League, and Wonder Woman 84. I don't know if there was studio interference with Batman vs. Superman or even Man of Steel. Batman vs. Superman, Snyder got to do a lot of what he wanted to do. I think the only thing he had to do was shorten it. I remember watching a cut. Oh, no, I didn't watch the cut. Which cut? It was my soup watched a cut. I think that was over 3 hours long of Batman vs. Superman. He was told to trim it, which I do believe a majority of that ended up on the DVD of the director's cut of Batman vs. Superman. Justice League was a mess. We all know the story behind that. And Wonder Woman 84. Wonder Woman 84 also, like, because Wonder Woman, the first one, didn't have a lot of studio interference. Wonder Woman 84 did, because Wonder Woman did much better financially and critically than the studio expected, and then everyone got their hands in the pie. I think Warner Brothers execs know how to ruin a movie, so hopefully they knock it off. Dustin Finkelstein. I'm going to say Finkelstein. I like how that sounds. I agree. Make the crossover special. It becomes too much all the time, everywhere. Agreed. Right? Superman versus Hulk would be a great movie. Same with Wolverine versus the Hulk. Let's face it. If we're going to keep things in Marvel. Matt Bush. Derek, check out Ryan's IMDb. Yes, I am known for Morbius. Boogeyman 13, a Dark Claw movie would rock. Yes, especially with Sparrow, the Robin Jubilee mashup. JK rants, I'm not ready to let go of Batfleck. That's fair. His Batman was the best opportunity to bring in a fantastical super villains that would have been believable in his universe. I agree with that. And okay. how to phrase this correctly, because I'm with you on I wasn't ready to let Batfleck go because we actually never got to see Batfleck fully Batflecked. And I was always hoping he was going to direct a Batman movie. I wanted to actually see him in a solo movie. Even if Snyder had really nothing to do with it, I would love to see that world more fleshed out. 100%. So I am with you on that. I'm with you. I'll be honest, not a huge fan of the Snyderverse, but I would have definitely given Batfleck a chance. I would have went in there very open-minded. Boogeyman 13, Ultimate Edition of Batman vs. Superman is honestly a better experience. Characters and stories suddenly make sense. Yeah, well, he was putting a lot out there, right? Like, and then the studio says, hey, dude, you got to shorten it. Like, this is too damn long. That's what happens. Right? Who does animation side better, DC or Marvel? I think DC does it better, and they are killing it now in the comics. Whew. Okay. This is a very loaded question. DC changed the game in general. I think with Batman the Animated Series and syndicated animation was given, they raised that bar. And they raised that bar so high that very few series will be able to compete. And I know there's an argument, and I love the cartoon too, so don't get me wrong when I say this. X-Men and Spider-Man from the 90s do not even hold a candle to Batman the Animated Series. Batman the Animated Series, for the 4 seasons, the first 3 seasons used a full orchestra, a full cinematic orchestra for their score. The consistency of that cartoon and the storytelling stayed top-notch from beginning of season 1 to the end of season 4, all the way into Superman, Batman Beyond, and Justice League Unlimited. Straight up. Right? That was like a whole decade of just beautiful animation, top-notch storytelling, consistent the whole way through. X-Men and Spider-Man do not have that. X-Men, have you tried watching that last season of X-Men? It's a hard watch. The animation is not good. The stories, I don't know what they're trying to tell us. Voice actors left, the whole bit. Spider-Man, kind of the same deal, right? Again, first couple seasons of that, fantastic, but it does the regular thing that 80s syndicated cartoons did as well. Ninja Turtles, Real Ghostbusters, they all kind of just trail off into like, it's like they're decomposing, right? Like it's weird to watch. And then sometime in the early 2000s, we got X-Men Evolution. And X-Men Evolution, beautiful animation from beginning to end, beautiful storytelling from beginning to end. It was different from the comics. I think that show was what Ultimate Comics, Ultimate X-Men wanted to be. I think X-Men Evolution is one of the best interpretations of the X-Men that we have ever gotten. Like, yes, it's just them, like the adult characters we all know from the 90s, they just threw them in high school. I loved it. Goth Rogue, Goth Scarlet Witch, right? Hanging out in the frat house with the Brotherhood. Come on. That shit was so good, right? And then we got Spectacular Spider-Man. That helped raise the game. Storytelling, animation, again, beautiful stuff. And then, of course, DC did feature animation with Batman Mask of the Phantasm. We haven't seen anything like that since from DC. And Marvel didn't do anything until, boom, we got into the Spider-Verse. And that is a complete game changer. And I'm not just saying that because I worked on it. It was one of those, I did not expect it to be the cultural reset that it was. Because now every studio has stopped doing the Disney thing and they're all trying to do something different. They're all trying to stand out. They're all trying to do something weird and a different style and look to stand out. And I love that. So which is better? That's got to be up to you. Because for me, they've both had such strong winners. They've had duds. And I mean, we all watched Teen Titans. We all watched Young Justice. And I remember like that cold water in the face that we got with Teen Titans Go. And everyone was just like, what is this? And Teen Titans Go turned out to be like a love letter to like DC. And same with Batman Brave and the Bold. And then in the early 2000s, there was also The Batman, another underrated animation as well. Come on, there's so much good stuff. See, you got me just jonesing on animation. I love cartoons. I think they tell sometimes better stories than the live action stuff. And I know some people, they don't dig that too much. Unlimited Power. Man of Steel suffers from bad product placement. Sears, IHOP. Other than that, I love it. I'll be honest, my first job was at Sears, so I popped. Derek, Randall, DC slays with animation. Pre-Spider-Verse Marvel's animated film offerings were top shelf. Yeah, I kind of forgot. Yeah, like all the DC, I guess it would be direct to video, direct to streaming. Yeah, right. Like all of that is so good too. Like again, I think that's a Warner Brothers thing, more than a Disney thing. I don't know. I can't really explain it. Dustin, it's Morbin time. I'm gonna need a Ranger coin. I ran in 3G crossover less. I like the crossover when it's special. A surprise at this point. It's overdone and expected. Yep. Cougar McGillicuddy, love the hat. Thank you. That's from the Bitter Army. Paul Seung Lee, check out his channel. Bitter Asian Dude. He does fun boxing Sundays. It's a lot like what we're doing right now. In fact, I learned how to do this by myself from watching Paul. Eliminus 757. I really like to see a present day Batman and Robin of some sort. Me too. Monsters from Beyond. Remember you were working on an animated Marvel? Yeah. Yes, I am working on an animated Marvel film. And I cannot wait for all of you to see it. I cannot wait to see it. Stephen Lawrence, composed by the late Shirley Walker. I do have her soundtracks. I got them. I got those Batman animated series soundtracks on CD. That's what they're called. That's what they were called back then. I would love for them to come out in vinyl. I think they did. I think Mondo released. I don't think they released the full soundtracks, but I believe Mondo did release some vinyl. I tried getting them. They sold out instantly, as well as they're on Spotify. So if you want to just type in Shirley Walker, Batman animated series, you will find her work. Toy Art, yes, season 5 of X-Men was a stinker. It was awful. Stephen Lawrence, Paul Dini, and Bruce Timm absolutely killed it on Batman animated series. You know what? I'm going to throw Alan Burnett in that ring as well. One of the animation directors, and Andrea Romano, who was the voice director on that as well. They had a very amazing team who were very dedicated and passionate and loved Batman. Derek Hoover, dude, the last season of X-Men. Yeah, dude. It's not good. Dustin, DC has great animation, but I think Sony Spider-Man related animation is also consistently great. Maybe not so much for the Marvel animated stuff. Yeah, it's fair. It's not that it's not good. It's just not, you can't watch, it's hard to watch to the end. That's all. Derek Hoover, Randall, the first Batman Spider-Man crossover with the Joker and Carnage was pretty great. That'd be fun to do. Right? Randall, the Batman cartoon was underrated. Brave and the Bold. Green Lantern, yes, another one. Young Justice. Plus the great to good DC. Right? Great to good DC animated movies. Agreed. Daniel, DC animation is fantastic, especially now that they aren't afraid to go R-rated. Agreed. Even with Warner Brothers Mortal Kombat animated films, awesome stuff. I love it. Yeah. Monsters from Beyond. I ended up loving Teen Titans Go. Yes, and their movie too, Teen Titans Go to the Movies, was also good. And it's funny how I can't stop thinking about that movie when they announced that Alfred was getting his own TV show, and it just made me laugh. Unlimited Power, Young Justice is okay. Teen Titans is still the GOAT. That's totally fair assessment. Boogeyman 13, Wolverine and the X-Men, and Spectacular Spider-Man. Yes, Wolverine and the X-Men. I got the steel case DVD set for that. We're both pretty solid series too. The Wolverine series even has an episode that was a sequel to Wolverine versus Hulk animated flick. I have those on DVD as well. Everyone should check those out if you have not. Derek Hoover, John DiMaggio yelling, outrageous, as Aquaman is life. Agreed. Agreed. Stephen Lawrence Mondo had 2 volumes as far as I know, right? Yeah. And they sold out very, very fast. Randall, at times I wish Paul Dini, Bruce Timm, Alan Burnett would have had a hand in shaping the DC cinematic universe. Me too. Plus Doell, who is the most underrated Batman artist for me, Don Newton and his Shazam. Most underrated Batman artist. I know this is super recent, and I know this is part of Tom King's run, but I don't think enough people talk about Mitch Garrett's drawing Batman and that issue that he did with Professor Pig. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people do talk about it a lot, but I feel like a lot of people talk about Clayman recently, who is amazing. He's so good. He drew the issue that is like one of my favorite standalone issues of all time, which is Blind Date. But I think Mitch Garrett's needs more shout out. Another one too is, oh my gosh, he does like Silver Age style covers. Why am I blanking? This always happens. I'm hoping it'll come back to me. Derek, Andrea Romano has a bitchin' career in voice casting at DC. I think Andrea in Phantasm was named after her. I do believe it was. And I met Andrea Romano. I have met her in person. And she was very, very lovely. And she signed my Batman animated book. And she wasn't even a guest at the convention. She was just there. And I just happened to recognize her because I'm obsessed with that show and the people that worked on it. So I was always watching behind the scenes stuff and just happened to recognize her. Monsters from Beyond, the song Teen Titans. Yes, runs through my head all day. Oh my God. Yeah, you made me say it. Teen Titans. Oh God, dude. Who? Puffy Amiyumi, right? That was the J-pop band that sang it. Pickle D. Dude, don't worry about being late. But you're here. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Chinovo, don't know if you've covered this, but what are your thoughts on Teen Titans from HBO Max? I fell off the show after partway through the second season. I liked where it was going. It's too bad they didn't have the budget to do Beast Boy properly. The person they got is, I don't know anyone's names. I don't know any of the actors' names, so my apologies ahead of time. But Donna Troy, perfectly casted. Dick Grayson was great cast. John Yerkeba just sent me a photo today of the guy who's playing Tim Drake in the Tim Drake costume, which I thought was pretty good. I thought the kid who played Jason Todd was also really good. Little smart aleck, right? So, and again, Starfire cast, like everyone's casting was good. I just kind of wish they had the budget to support a teen superhero show. I think that's really it. I just wish it had a bigger budget. Toy Art, if you feel that, I feel like Norm Brefogel is, I can never say anyone's name. I just read names. I just don't know how to pronounce them. Is underrated in the Batman comics. That's a good shout out. Absolutely. Randall, it was sad when Marvel was bought by Disney and Marvel was forced. Yeah. Okay. This is going to have to be another episode. That's going to have to be another episode. When I do the next monthly Marvel, I'll do one next week. We're going to do that as a discussion. We're going to talk about Marvel buying DC, the pros and cons. So I think that's a loaded question. But that's yep. See, you got me hung up. Boogeyman 13. So which Batwing are you getting? All right, let's get into toys, folks. Let's do it. Which Batwing are you getting? The Spin Master, the McFarlane? I want to see the Spin Master one first. I'm not getting the McFarlane one. It's too damn big. I don't know where to put it. As you can see here, I don't have a lot of space. I don't have a lot of real estate. I would rather keep collecting superpowers, to be honest. The McFarlane line, the classic line, I think that to me is more my jam. I do want to get the RC Batmobile from Spin Master. I think that one actually caught my eye more than the McFarlane one. I don't even feel bad about it. And I kind of am excited about the idea of cruising around my place with an RC Keaton Batmobile. To me, that's like super exciting. It's super fun. Because at the end of the day, I want toys to be fun, and I don't want them to be a nuisance. And I think as much as I love Todd's Batmobile, I mean, they're all going to be one-seaters. I don't think I'm going to have I know I'm hung up on the seats thing. No one else is hung up on the seats thing. It's just me, and I get that. People just want... We're all older collectors, so everyone just wants something for their shelf. Nobody wants something that they can play with, but there's... And it's not that I'm sitting here looking to play with my toys, and it's not like it's a convertible so you can display figures in it. But there's just something about me knowing that it seats two is what makes me sleep better at night. Which I know, it's very, very weird. But the Batmobile, the RC one with the little built-in bat cave on the side of the charging thing, and it smokes up. Come on, that's so cool. That is so cool. Right? I love that thing. So I think that's the route I'm going to go, is the Spin Master route. Anytime, and I got nothing against Todd's stuff. I just sometimes don't think they're for me. Like I was supposed to be unboxing tonight while we do this, and I got so sidetracked, got so into the Shazam conversation, right? Like I got these from Matt Bush, and I love them. And I can't wait. I got that whole DC shelf there, and I cannot wait to put this with my Lobo and my Bizarro. Right, he got me Mongol as well. So regardless, I'm going to open these tonight, regardless of whether I'm online or not, because I love that he's doing like Superman villains, and like that's such a rare treat. It feels like. So I love the stuff that he's doing, and I love the Superpowers line. But I think when he does his movie stuff. Like, even when he had the Suicide Squad figures, I was kind of like, oh, man, I love that movie. And I saw the figures, and I was just not into it. I don't know. Right? And they're just not for me. But I will absolutely not, as Geek Dad Jay puts it, I will not yuck somebody's yum. I will give anyone full support and cheer them on. And I will cheer on Todd as well. Absolutely. You got to remember, like, Todd McFarlane, to me, is like, the dude's got a work ethic and a self-promotion that, like, I've never seen anything like it before. Well, I have, but he's just so good at it. And he revolutionized comics. He revolutionized Spider-Man, how we look at him. He's revolutionized toys, how they're made. Like, come on. It's Todd. Michael Cho does the Silver Age covers, I believe. Michael Cho... It's not him I'm thinking of. He did Adam Strange with Mitch Jarrett and Tom King. Help me out, Toy Art. I know you know, but I love Michael Cho's work too. I've got some stuff signed by him. He's so good. Randall, hit return too soon, but to finish, when Marvel was forced to cancel most of their animated series to Disney, that is a full-on Disney thing. When Disney acquires something, they cancel everything, go clean slate. We all saw it happen with we all first saw it happen with Marvel. And then when they bought Star Wars, I was like, they won't do the same thing. Clone Wars is too popular. Their video games are too much in development with LucasArts. They're not going to cancel it. Gone. Clean slate. Novels. Gone. Everything gone. Disney just went in and said, we're going to give you the sequel trilogy instead. And you're going to love it. Guess what? We did. We did love it. Derek, that Spin Master RC Batmobile just seems like a really great offering all around. Absolutely. I agree. Yeah, the Spin Master art. This is Nolan. The Spin Master RC Batmobile looks awesome. Agreed. Randall, I hope Spin Masters releases a regular 4-inch Keaton Batmobile. I think they will. I do not think Spin Masters is done announcing toys yet. I think there's more to come. And I think they're just waiting. Right? Because they they legit did. I think they're completely playing themselves against Todd. And I think they know it. Taylor. Hey, Taylor. Dude, thanks for coming out, hanging out. Play with toys. Dude, I live in a toy box. Stephen Lawrence, I was hoping to find McFarlane the Flash figures and Batmobile in the wild, but when stuff selling out online, it has me worried. Yeah. Even being the overproduced McFarlane line. Dude, I think they're going to trickle it out, but I think once June hits, May and June, stores are going to flood. Do not worry about it. Pickle D, will it be a one-seater in the new movie? We don't know yet. If it is, I don't even know how I feel about that. Okay, I'll stop. Unlimited power. I would collect the superpowers and the other McFarlane figures. The superpowers will make the collection look nice. The new superpowers are great, and I find that they're improving with every wave. JK Rants, all of them. Buy all of them. I'm going to buy the 12-inch figure Batwing. I think it will scale to the best one to the... Oh, yeah. I think it will scale the best with the Spin Master 4-inch figures. Plus put some seats in it, partially paint the glass. Done. Yeah, dude. Actually, there are people that are now making already mods for this stuff to have multiple seats. Like, it's insane. Right? Randall found the Toy Biz Batmobile with the missiles. But what about the vacuum form plastic shell? Matt Bush had the McFarlane all the McFarlane Suicide Squad figures, but got rid of them except for Peacemaker. That's fair. Peacemaker was such a good show. Pickle D, the superpowers are just too cool to not collect them. Agreed. I will happily pay full price for superpowers. Mookie Man 13, I'm a 1/18th scale guy, so I'm all in on Spin Master. It seems like the Spin Master 1/6 scale Batwing may be in scale with the 4-inch figures. Yeah, as mentioned before. In the trailer, when Supergirl flies past it, it looks huge. Right? Set pull. How's it going, my dude? Derek Hoover, and affordable. Yes, that is like one big key thing, right? Hank Hagbush. Let's just call a spade a spade. I'm a huge DC guy, but I've had zero interest in seeing any of the Shazam films or Black Adam for that matter. That's fair. That's totally fair. JK Rants, there's been a leaked image of Spin Master's non-RC89 Batmobile. It looks good. I hope it's real. I'm sure it is. I would have no doubt in that. Ian, do you think toy companies have a real issue with license agreements regarding character likenesses? These McFarlane figures have been way off recently. Wonder Woman, Batfleck, and Keaton. That could very well be a thing. They'll never flat out say it. Oh, they might. Someone might. But, yeah. I honestly do think it's a thing because none of them look like any of them. I don't even think Keaton's ever had his... Well, I guess because... He's never done like a mask. They've never done like a maskless Hot Toys of Keaton, have they? Someone let me know in the chat if that is a thing. I've come to the realization that The Batman is my favorite Batman DC movie of all time. That's from Sedbull. And yes, dude, Corey, I agree. Hoping Cody doesn't beat Roman at WrestleMania. What? Dude? Yeah, but if anyone deserves a break, it's Roman Reigns. Okay, listen. Cody should beat Roman Reigns. I mean, if they're not going to let... here's the other thing. Okay, this is a question for Sed. This is a question for Toy Art. All right? Should Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos... Should that headline WrestleMania Night 1? Let me know. I think they should. And that's no offense to Rhea Ripley and Charlotte, because I think Rhea Ripley has like a really good storyline going on right now. But I think that the tag teams titles should main event Night 1 of WrestleMania. That's all I'm going to say. Right? Stephen Lawrence, yes. MMS 293 or 4 and returns 2-pack with the Wayne figure. Okay. Right? Glad he's back, but come on. Roman Reigns ending. Yeah. I'm with you. With Cody ending the streak. No, hey. See, I knew you'd agree. Randall, the Toy Biz Batmobile shell literally crumbled in front of me. I cried. Did you get the Mattel Justice League RC Batmobile, the non-RC multiverse Batmobile? I did not. I'll be honest, I did not get those. But I will get that new one. For sure. Matt Bush, Todd does massive waves for every DC movie, but Shazam 2 only got Shazam and Wonder Woman and no statues. And I think there's too many women in Shazam. Can't make more than one. Toy art, absolutely. That's a no-brainer in my opinion for night one of Mania. It's too strong of a story. I agree. Everything's been about the bloodline for like the last 2 years. If this is where everything comes down and it ends, they need to main event both nights. Absolutely. It's too bad it's also not a TLC match. Just gonna throw that out there. Pickle D, at least Shazam and Black Adam figures from McFarlane look good. Agreed. Said boom, it should be a triple threat match with Sammy, Roman Reigns, and Cody. I would have been okay with that. If that's the route they decided to go, I would have been okay with that. I am kind of bummed out that I try not to think about that one too much because I knew they weren't going to go that route with Cody's return, him winning the Rumble. But Sammy's match in Montreal was so good, right? Like, it was so good. In fact, I actually would have been okay with Sammy versus Cody for a main event. Vickman to San Diego. Superpowers toys are cool, but we need another line in between McFarlane's 6-inch and Superpowers. I'm not really sold on any of those toys, right? On any of those. Also hard to get Superpowers in Mexico. Good to know. I might be able to hook you up, Vickman. Let's figure something out. Krista Horty, late as always. It's okay. It's all good. I'm going to be finishing up here pretty soon here, folks. Another 5 minutes. Ian, right? The DJ Black Adams, your perfect trouble is no one's buying them. My local stores are stacked full. They were discounted to $10. Still no one's buying them. Ouch. Right? Randall. We've gotten into wrestling. Cody's promo on Monday was killer. Agreed. He's channeled his dad's spirit. I agree. I think all his promos so far since coming back to, even in AEW, his promos were like really good. Now made more about Roman's family being made the weak link and always and away from just Dusty, who was an all-time favorite. Agree? Yeah, dude, the way they've mixed everything in, and again, this whole storyline since he come back is finishing what his father and, let's face it, and his older brother could not do. Right? Both have Hall of Fame careers. I think Goldust is also, he should be inducted to the Hall of Fame at some point. Right? Very popular. But I think Cody's going to be the one. He is the one. Right? That's kind of what they've always said. Unlimited power. The superpowers Batman head looked weird to me. I agree. I think that whole first wave a little bit has looked weird, but I feel like every wave we've gotten since has just improved. Pickle. Ian, it's a shame. Let's hope McFarlane doesn't care. Yeah, let's hope it doesn't affect him too much. Nolan, I always expect to see Ken pop up whenever wrestling is brought up. Yeah, right? Say Ken's name 3 times. Yeah, I think that head looks weird for most of us. Agreed. All right. And Ryan, this is from SETI. Ryan, can only choose one to go on a date with. Oh! Daisy Ridley, Ford's Powell, Anya Taylor-Joy. I can only choose one? Oh, man. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna choose the days. I'm gonna choose Daisy. Choosing Daisy. It's gonna be a hot topic. That might come off controversial, but I'm choosing Daisy. Randall, Doell, how are you loving your cyborg? I love it. I love it. It looks so good with the rest of my superpowers. I should take photos and stuff of it. Geek Dad Jay and I are going to do a video together talking about the original superpowers cyborg and that one, right? See, Daisy is a good choice, right? Entertainer Joy all the way. Oh, here we go. Man, you're riling up the chat. Okay, everyone, it's been an hour. I am going to head out. I know we didn't get to solicitations. I did want to talk some comics, but we did get to the toys. We did talk about Shazam. So thank you, everybody here, for hanging out. Thank you for everyone who's watching right now and still watching right now, even on the replay. Thank you to everyone who's hitting like. If you liked what you saw, please hit the subscribe. You know the jingle. All us YouTubers, we all do it. And thank you very much. We're almost on the way to 1,000. Remember, I got prizes and gifts and stuff all ready to go to celebrate when we hit that milestone, and all of that jazz. So thank you, everyone. Have a great Wednesday. And, Jesus, Tyler. Could you be even later? Stam guy. I'll see him on Sunday. We're going to Toy Traders. It's going to be fun. All right, everyone. Have a good night. And I'll see you next Tuesday on Toy Anxiety, and I'll see you next week here in Gotham. All right. Have a good night.